don't know about you, but I am officially tired of heavy casseroles. I'm ready for lighter, fresher foods as we move into spring. I'm going to share with you 10 different meals that I like to cook as we're moving into spring. They're lighter and fresher and perfect for this time of year. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. Speaking of fresher, I love to have fresh baked bread along with our meals, and that's why I'm so excited that Wild Grain has sponsored a portion of today's video. I will tell you more about them later. Today we're going to have a turkey and rice skillet. It's got all kinds of good ingredients, but this is going to be on the healthier side, which is always a good thing. I recently did a video on different uses and different ways to make rice, and tonight would be another great one. So I'm going to cook the rice fresh tonight, but this is a great use for leftover rice as well. So I had some leftover vegetable broth. That's what I'm going to cook my rice in. That is heating up now. I don't have a ton of chopping to do, but I am going to go ahead and chop up these 2 green onions. The recipe calls for half a cup of parsley. I'm not going for quite that much, but I've got some curly parsley here. I've got this red bell pepper. I'm gonna chop it up as well. Now I think in the recipe they used green olives, but I had these Kalamata olives on hand, so that's what we're gonna go with. Do a little quality check here. They're real good. Yep. So I'm just gonna roughly chop these. My skillet is heating up, but I wanted to tell you the recipe calls for chickpeas. I'm not the biggest fan of chickpeas, so we're gonna sub out some Great Northern beans. You can do cannellini beans, but this is just what I had on hand. My turkey is starting to brown. We're gonna add some seasonings to it. Just a heads up, if you've never cooked with ground turkey, just know that it can be kind of bland, but you've just gotta season it well and it'll be great. So I've got these seasonings: oregano, cumin, paprika, and some crushed red pepper flakes. Those are all gonna go in. It's up to you how much red pepper flakes you add, or if you add them at all. You know, we like a little bit of spice. I think the recipe calls for a teaspoon. So we need about a tablespoon of paprika, about a teaspoon of cumin, and then a teaspoon of dried oregano. And then of course, salt and pepper. Turkey is very lean. I should have put some olive oil in here when I first started, but I just added about a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil just now, just to help it. But you see how seasoned that looks. That's exactly what we want. Our turkey is completely done, so I turned down the heat to about medium. We're gonna add in our bell pepper, as well as our green onion at this point. And we're gonna let it cook for a couple of minutes. And I'm also gonna grab our garlic. The recipe says 1 clove. That ain't how I do. It's more like 3 cloves, but you do you. We're gonna let this cook 2 or 3 minutes just to kind of soften those bell peppers. At this point, we're just gonna add in a little more olive oil. It says a teaspoon. I went for more than that. And we're gonna grab our rice. Check out my new pot holder that one sweet subscriber sent to me. So our rice is good and ready. I don't quite need all of this rice for this recipe, but I went ahead and made a whole cup of rice just because that's what we love. We love rice, so we can use it for the rest of the week. I think the recipe itself calls for 1 cup of cooked rice. So I'm gonna add maybe a little more than that. We're just gonna stir that to combine it and let it cook for another couple of minutes before we add in our last few ingredients, and then we'll be ready to eat. This is a quick dinner. It wouldn't be a Mandy recipe if I didn't forget an ingredient. Along with this rice, we need to add in our chickpeas, or, well, chickpeas if you're using them. Great Northern beans for me. I drained and rinsed mine there in the can. I'm gonna let these heat through for a couple of minutes along with the rice. Last touch, our olives and our parsley, and let that heat through for just a minute. I also chopped up an avocado and a lemon. That looks like a lemon, right? A tomato, and sliced some lime and just squeezed that over top. That's just a great topping idea for it too. You want to test it and make sure your seasonings are good. See if you need more salt and pepper here at the end. So let's do that. I'm gonna throw in just a little more salt and a little more pepper.
I'm making chili in here.
No.
Oh. The bean flavor is quite nice with this.
Okay, good.
Really like that, even though it's not pinto bean.
Right, but it called for chickpeas.
Okay.
And I said no. So.
Oh yeah, we're not a big fan of chickpeas.
No, I mean they're okay. They're just not my favorite.
It's like a dirty rice.
Okay. Like a healthier version of dirty rice.
It's like a healthier version of dirty rice.
All right.
Not so dirty rice. I was a little suspect on the turkey now. I'm not going.
You always are. You always are.
This has got seasonings in it. It's really good. Very tasty.
It is.
Version
Tasty while being healthy.
Dirty rice. I guess.
We like.
What kind of rice is this called? What's it called?
It's just rice. It's basmati.
Do what?
Oh, God.
Do Gotti.
We're out. Tonight we are making a very easy, creamy chicken recipe. It's going to be on the stovetop. It is called creamy herb chicken. Do you say herb or do you say, is it herb? I saw a comment not too long ago and someone asked why I say herb and not herb. Is there a certain part of our country or somewhere else that says herb instead of herb? I want to know. Let me know.
What you making over here? What you got?
Oh.
What kind of chicken do you want? Okay.
We're going to have nice creamy chicken. You ready?
Creamy chicken.
You going to help me today?
I reckon.
You reckon?
All right, let's do this.
All right, let's do it. All right, you want to grab me the flour. I've got half a cup of all-purpose flour. I'm going to... Huh?
Nothing, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to put this in a shallow bowl.
Let me show you how easy this is.
Shake and bake, and I helped.
All you gotta do is put that in there and put chicken in there.
No, we gotta season the chicken first. With some salt and pepper. I had 2 large chicken breasts that I cut in half, just so that they were thinner and they will cook evenly and a little bit quicker. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper to both sides. I did already pat this mostly dry as well. Pepper. And we're gonna add just a little bit of Italian seasoning too. When I was cutting my chicken breast in half, this one nearly fell apart right here. So I do that almost every single time I'm cutting chicken in half. I'll mess up 1/2 of one. Okay, salt and pepper this side. Italian seasoning. That's a little bit much. Now we're just gonna take each piece of chicken and just coat it in our flour. You do wanna shake off the excess once you've got it coated. And then we're just gonna put it over here on this plate. Now I've got this large skillet I'm heating to medium-high heat.
All right.
So he's taking over for me. So we've got this large skillet. He's putting a little bit of olive oil in there. And we're just going to cook these on either side for 3 or 4 minutes. Nice hot pan.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to crowd the pan, so maybe do 2 at a time. I don't know. He might be able to fit it all in there. We'll see.
I think we can do it. Look, you might touch a little oil in there. Look at that.
A little extra oil.
A little extra virgin olive oil.
Over here, I've got green beans started. I just used bacon grease instead of actually doing the bacon tonight. We're taking the shortcut. If you don't have one of these in your kitchen, in your refrigerator, you're missing out, y'all. This is bacon grease. Yes, this entire thing is bacon grease. Okay, so he's starting to flip these. They've been going for 4 or 5 minutes on each side, or on the first side. So now we're gonna let the same happen on the other side. All right, these are done. So he's just gonna remove them from this plate, or remove them from the skillet and put them on this plate.
A good color on that.
They do have good color on them. Perfection. Okay, and now we're gonna turn the heat down a little bit, yep. And grab that chicken broth over there. Yeah. We got 1 cup of chicken broth that's gonna go in. So for the seasonings, we've got a teaspoon each of garlic powder, onion powder, basil, and oregano. And then we have a 1/2 teaspoon of dried mustard. We wanna bring this to a boil, which is already starting to come up to a boil. So we did turn the heat down to about medium-low here. He's got a can of cream of chicken soup. He's gonna add that in. We're gonna whisk it in, make this nice and creamy. And then once all of that is combined, we're gonna go in with some milk and some sour cream. Now if you prefer, and honestly I prefer, you could use heavy cream. My grocery store has been out of heavy cream, it seems like all the time lately. So now we're gonna add in, the recipe calls for 3/4 a cup of sour cream. We're gonna add in about a 1/2 cup first and whisk it around and see what we think. And then we're also gonna add in 1/4 cup of milk. So we just went with about a 1/2 cup of that sour cream. Now the secret ingredient is a couple of teaspoons of fresh lemon juice, and these lemons are seedless lemons. I've never seen that before in my grocery store. But they had them this time and I got them just because, I mean, that makes it really easy to squeeze into a recipe. You don't have to worry about seeds. So we just need like 2 teaspoons, so probably that whole lemon because it's pretty small. Okay, let's just whisk all of that together. Now that it is completely combined, we're gonna add our chicken back in. Now our chicken is done, it's completely cooked through. We're just gonna let it hang out in this sauce. We're gonna spoon the sauce over it for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then it's gonna be time to eat. Oh my goodness, y'all, I wish you could smell this. This is going to be divine.
I just want to say thank you because you cooked what I asked for.
I did.
I said, I want some chicken and some sauce.
Yeah, he said he wanted
some
creamy
gravy.
sauce on his chicken.
That's right.
So I found this recipe just for him.
You did good. Well, that cut easy. No knife needed.
Good.
On these guys. Wow. First of all, the chicken is extremely tender.
Good.
Like, wow. Pan-fried chicken.
Yeah.
That's this tender.
Yes.
The flavor of the sauce is incredible. Those spices and everything that you put in there.
The
not the
herbs.
spices, but the herbs.
Yeah.
With the garlic powder.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, in that cream? Mm-hmm. You're talking about creamy. This stuff is, look how creamy this is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, you've sold me on it. Now I want to take a bite. Give me 1 second, please, ma'am. It's so creamy, and he's right. That lemon is what takes it over the top. So I highly recommend. You probably have all the ingredients for this on hand already. So
yeah, you got to make this. This
Yeah.
is really good. You're going to be very happy with the results, trust me.
absolutely.
And you could do so much in terms of sides with this.
Yeah, you moved to this side. You thought maybe if you tapped me on that side, I would respond. I love you, little Lou. I would like to thank Wild Grain for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Look, I'm pretty sure my love language is pasta, pastries, breads. That's why I love Wild Grain. So if you love bread as much as I do and you're not a baker like I'm not, then Wild Grain is the perfect answer for you. Here's the thing, it is the first Bake from Frozen subscription box that has sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh made pastas. Wild Grain partners with small bakers and pasta makers all over the country, and you get the best of the best. And speaking of the best, their croissants, I've never had better croissants. I love these, and I'm gonna tell you how you can get them for free, so hang on. But here's the thing. So I used to always buy my fresh made breads at grocery stores. Here's why you don't wanna do that. Number one, you need to use them really quick or freeze them really quick because otherwise they're gonna grow mold. So you can't really kind of shop for that ahead of time. Enter Wild Grain where it comes to you frozen. You just pop it in the freezer. Then here's the best part. You don't have to think ahead. You don't have to thaw these things out. You just take them directly from the freezer, put them in the oven. They are ready from the freezer to the oven and ready to be eaten within 25 minutes. And the way that they have frozen this, it locks in the flavor, the nutrients, and the textures without using preservatives. This is a new one to me. This is the ham and cheese foldovers. That's gonna make a great lunch one day. Also, another reason why I don't love store-bought is the way that they make their bread. Wild Grain uses a slow fermentation process. Like it takes them about 20 hours to ferment, whereas the store-bought stuff, 20 minutes. And the way that Wild Grain bakers make their breads, it is much easier on your tummy and it's richer in nutrients and antioxidants. A treat that we love are these chocolate croissants. So you get that great flaky croissant, but in the middle, there's chocolate. Say less. So with Wild Grain, if you're gluten-free, you can get a gluten-free box. If you're vegan, they've got boxes for that. They also have added protein boxes. Speaking of protein, these biscuits have 10 grams of protein in them. Have not tried these. I'm excited to try it. Been trying to up my protein as I age. So, I mean, if I can get protein in bread, yes. And they're always adding new and seasonal products, limited edition things. So each time you can get something different in your box. I mentioned we love their croissants, but we also absolutely love their sourdough bread. It has become a staple in our house. So if you're interested in checking out Wild Grain, just click the link in my description box. Use code Mandy30. That's gonna get you $30 off of your first box. Plus, you're gonna get free croissants for life. Like I mentioned, those croissants are the best. So don't wait. Also, might I recommend these large chocolate chunk cookies? No, giant chocolate chunk cookies, and they are giant. They even have butter, and their butter is so good. So be sure to check them out. Use my code Mandy30 for some savings and to get those free croissants. Now back to cooking. So I found this recipe and it's like a 20-minute meal and it sounds so delicious. It is a honey sriracha chicken and broccoli. I'm gonna serve it, you can serve it with rice. I'm gonna serve it with cauliflower rice just to make it even healthier. This is gonna be the perfect portion for me and Steven for lunch. Let's get started. Okay, I've got these 2 broccoli florets. I'm just gonna cut these into bite-sized pieces. This is really the only chopping we have to do for this recipe, which is wonderful. So I've got this large skillet. It is heating to about medium high. It's almost there. I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil, maybe a tablespoon or so. And I've got all of our broccoli over here. We're going to place it here in the skillet and allow it to brown on one side for 1 to 2 minutes before we stir it around. So it's just starting to sizzle. We're gonna let this cook without touching it for a couple of minutes. I know this looks like a lot of ingredients, but every single bit of this I had on hand already. I had this in the pantry because we had used up a sweet chili sauce, but I knew we would need it. So I did not have to purchase any of this. So chances are if you like Asian inspired dishes, you have all of the ingredients you need. But let's make our sauce, and as always, I'm gonna double it. Okay, so the recipe calls for 1/4 cup of the sweet chili sauce. So I'm gonna do pretty much a 1/2 cup. If you don't wanna double the sauce, don't double the sauce, but we really like things to be extra saucy. I need probably about 4 tablespoons of honey. So I'm just gonna eyeball this. We need 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm not gonna eyeball this one. It says to use ground ginger, but I'm gonna use ginger paste, maybe just a couple of teaspoons. Very appetizing. And we're gonna use about, why did I open up the entire thing? Just this part, Mandy. About 4 tablespoons of sriracha. You can go less on this if you want to, if you don't like spice. It's not wanting to come out. That's never a good sign. We'll just do it this way. 2, 3. And I hear my broccoli. It's time for me to go turn that broccoli, so let's go do that. Okay, so it's been cooking for a couple of minutes. You see it's got some brown on the side that it was down on the pan. We're gonna let this continue to cook for another couple of minutes. I'm gonna add in some more olive oil just because I feel like it needs it. Okay, the last thing that I had to add was a little bit of sriracha and toasted sesame oil. I'm so sorry, y'all. I thought I hit record and I didn't. You need a couple of tablespoons of toasted sesame oil. And there is a difference between toasted and untoasted sesame oil, so it does make a difference. And then I added a couple of teaspoons of garlic powder, and then I whisked it together. And then I went to hit record to stop recording and realized I was just starting to record. It's fun times, y'all, fun times. Check the description box for the recipe because I know I screwed that up. Let's go over to the stove. We're gonna take this broccoli out of the skillet for now. I'm just gonna put it here on this plate and put this back on the stove. Add a little more olive oil, not a lot. We'll turn our heat down just a tad too, and we're gonna add in 1 pound of ground chicken. Okay, so our chicken is in. You wanna let it brown a little bit on one side, and then we're gonna try and flip it, keeping it intact, and then we'll chop it after it gets kind of browned on each side. I am gonna throw this cauliflower rice into the microwave. Okay, let's see if I can turn this over. Probably not. And it's really not that big a deal if it doesn't work out. All right, we'll let that brown on the other side, and then I'll start chopping it up here in just a second. Okay, I'm gonna let that cook the rest of the way through before we add in our sauce. Our chicken is fully cooked. Let's pour in this yummy sauce. We're gonna let it kind of thicken before we add our broccoli back in. So let's stir it around. You'll have to let me know below, do you always double the sauce when it comes to recipes? I never find that the recipe portion of sauce is enough. And I think too, we like to have extra sauce for our rice, or our cauliflower rice in this instant. We always double it. And if I forget to double it, I'm always sad. Our sauce is starting to thicken. So let's add our broccoli back in and let it get coated in the sauce as well. Very quick and easy lunch, especially if you pre-make the sauce and have that ready to go. My cauliflower rice just finished in the microwave, so I'm gonna grab that out. See, it soaked that sauce right up. I'm so glad I did double.
I've been kind of craving some Asian inspiration here.
Well, here you go.
Thank you. It looks good. See some sauce down in there. It's got that Asian flavor. I smell the spiciness of it. It's probably got some sugar in there somewhere. something. Yeah, oh yeah, here's the spice.
You got that spice.
Oh man, that's good. What is that, chicken?
It's chicken, ground chicken.
Wow, that's like the best ground chicken I've ever had. That is amazing flavors. Very authentic flavors too.
Yes, very much so.
Very tasty.
Well, good.
Wow, this is like an international delight.
You're a mess. Y'all, sweet and spicy. You can definitely taste the sweetness, but then that spiciness lingers after you swallow the food.
Yes.
You just have that heat.
Yes. This is amazing.
You're on camera. I didn't know if Cole would like it or not. Sometimes he's not as big on Asian dishes, but he loves it. He's been scarfing it down, so scarf. Is that a word?
Well, you can wear it on your neck.
Oh, is it a word like I'm using it? Is that a real thing or is that a Southern thing? Scarf it down?
I don't know, but I like it.
Do you ever say it?
I've been scarfing it down.
Do you ever say that?
I probably do.
Is that a Southern thing? I don't know. Y'all tell me below. Do y'all say that, scarfing it down? Or is that a Southern thing? Or is it just a Mandy thing? Because, you know, I've been known to have those too, so. Okay, that's enough of that. What's up?
What's up? What we doing today?
I'm about to cook,
You about to cook?
which means you about to eat.
We about to cook.
Oh. What was that?
We about to cook.
Oh, it's still warm and cozy, but we're using some more fresh ingredients, so it kind of leans into the spring. I'm so excited about it because it's one of my favorite meals, but I've never made it quite like this. We are doing kielbasa. Just so you know, I understand it's not kielbasa, but that's just how I say it. Let me live my life. Kielbasa and cabbage skillet, but we are making a vinaigrette to go on top of it. It's gonna be so good. My mouth is watering. I'm very hungry. So let's get to cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and grab our large skillet and we're gonna start by heating it up on the stove while I slice up our kielbasa. So we just need to slice this kielbasa. You can do it in just slices like this, or you could even cut it in half and do little half moons. I'm gonna just take the easy route and just do slices like this. So I'm gonna do that really quickly and we're gonna throw it in that skillet. Let's add some olive oil. You don't need a lot. And then we're gonna throw our sausage. I'm gonna call it sausage so I don't have to keep saying the word. We're gonna throw that in here and let that start to brown up. While that is starting to saute over there, I've got this small onion I'm gonna dice. We're still waiting on that sausage to brown. Let's make our vinaigrette. So we need a 1/4 cup of olive oil. We need a couple of tablespoons of red wine vinegar. We need 1.5 tablespoons of stone ground mustard, just 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and some pepper. Let's whisk that together and we're gonna set this to the side. We'll be pouring this over top of everything a little bit later. Okay, my sausage is making a lot of noise over there. Let's go check on it. So it's definitely getting some good color on it, which is what we wanted. We're gonna throw the onion in here in just a second with it to let that get really soft, but let's let that finish cooking for just a couple of minutes and let's go chop up our cabbage. So basically we just need a small head of cabbage and we're just gonna cut it up into bite-sized pieces. And I'm gonna put this in my salad spinner to wash it really well because I feel like it's pointless just to run a big old head of cabbage under the faucet. It's just gonna clean the outer leaves. So we will throw this in the salad spinner. This is ready for some onion. So let's throw that in. Let's let that saute for just a couple of minutes. So everything is nice and soft and sauteed as far as the onions go. Now let's add in our cabbage. So the not so fun part is that this skillet is not quite as large as I would like. That's okay. It all fit in there. I'm just gonna have to move it around a good bit just to make sure all of it is getting that heat. And it's okay that there's a little bit of liquid still left on this cabbage. It's gonna help it steam here in the heat. But let's add some salt and pepper to this. And we're just gonna cook this until all the cabbage is nice and tender. This will probably take 10 minutes or so. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it and keep stirring it periodically. It is pretty tender. I tasted one of the harder parts, the more white parts of the cabbage, and it seems to be pretty tender. So at this point, we're gonna start adding our vinaigrette. The recipe says to add about half of it, toss it around, and then see if you need to add the rest. So that's what we're gonna do. Take our vinaigrette and just pour it over. So much flavor. Let's toss that. Oh my gosh, I can smell that. Oh, so much yes. My mouth is pouring water. It's simple meals like this that tend to be my favorites. Let me taste that and I'll report back. Look, there's not that much left. I'm going in with the rest of it because I love the flavor of this so much. So I'm gonna turn off the heat and it is time to eat. Hi.
What did I do to deserve this?
Oh, Cole is,
This is too good.
Cole is happy. Okay. All right, let's get you happy.
First of
Let's
all, I
go.
just want to say
Yeah.
that I'm glad you're feeling better.
I know. I'm finally back in the kitchen and feeling like me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
Yes.
I'm very, very happy about it. And I'm excited about this.
I mean,
I ain't had cabbage in a minute.
I love some cabbage.
It has been.
But you ain't had it
a
like
minute.
this.
Yes.
Cole is so happy over there.
This is the only way I eat it now.
Oh,
This is amazing.
Cabbage and Kielbasa. All right, here we go.
do it to it.
Wow.
There is a lot of flavor soaked up in that cabbage.
Huh?
That is delicious.
I'm so glad.
I don't know what quite going on here, but it's like yeah, definitely got this vinaigrette flavor to it.
Yes.
But there's some other flavors. I guess maybe the flavors of the kielbasa.
Right.
So it's kind of like smoky and got a little bit of that. I guess is it balsamic vinegar?
Red wine vinegar
That red wine. Okay.
mixed with some ground mustard.
Yes. Okay, I was getting mustard.
Okay. Yep.
But I was
It's in there.
afraid to say that because I didn't know if it was in there or not. But yeah, it's definitely got this mustard, vinegary pop of flavor that
Right.
lifts up that kielbasa.
Right. Are you happy?
I am happy.
Does
This
this-
is delicious.
So does this scream we're headed into spring?
It does.
It does.
Okay,
It
good.
very much does.
Good.
Yeah, I like the fact that being lunchtime, it's
Right.
a light lunch,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is kind of what I've been trying to do,
Yeah.
is go light on the lunch.
It feels like it cleans your mouth in a way.
Really?
You know,
It
it feels like
does.
it's very fresh.
Yeah.
you know?
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
All right. I like it.
It cleans your palate.
Maggie Moo, where are you? Hi. Hi, Maggie Moo. I'm using a rotisserie chicken so it comes together really quickly. And this one is called a BLT Chicken Salad. To get started, I'm gonna head over to the stove and heat up the skillet. As always, the recipe will be linked below. I'm making a portion of this recipe, not the entire thing. I've got about half a pound of bacon here that we are going to cook until crisp. So I'm gonna let that start cooking and I'm gonna go chop up the other ingredients. We need about, I don't know, 2 cups or so of cooked chicken. You could definitely use canned chicken. I've made plenty of chicken salads with canned chicken. I'm going to shred all of this up and not burn my fingers. That's the goal. And I will be right back. Okay, so I've got about 2 cups of chicken here. Because it is hot, I'm gonna throw this in the fridge and let it cool while I chop up everything else. I am going to dice this 1 stalk of celery. I guess this will kind of be the green. It's BLT, which L usually stands for lettuce. I'll be putting lettuce on our sandwiches that I make, but there's no lettuce in the chicken salad. I'm gonna chop this lemon in half. I'll be using that in a few minutes as well. And then I need just a little bit of red onion. I don't want to overpower this. Last thing is I just need to cut some of these cherry tomatoes in half. Okay, I feel like that is plenty. So that is all done. Let's go check on the bacon on the stove. It is really just kind of starting to fry up. So I'm gonna let it hang out over here and we're gonna go start assembling our salad. Okay, let's make the dressing that's gonna go on the salad. So we need about a little over, maybe like 1/3 a cup of Duke's mayo. I was gonna say a little over 1/4 a cup because I'm not quite cutting this recipe in half, but we'll just see how it goes. A tablespoon of lemon juice, maybe not even quite that much. About 1/4 teaspoon of salt, the same for garlic powder, and the same for onion powder. So I grabbed my little whisk and I'm just gonna give this a little stir. I'm gonna add some pepper in here too. That should be good. We'll set that to the side. Okay, in goes our chicken. I probably should have grabbed the bigger bowl. But you know, it is what it is. Let's add all the rest of these ingredients over here. Okay, I have a good feeling about this one. Our bacon is done, but it's very hot, so I'm gonna let it cool for just a couple of minutes and then we'll add that in and we'll finish up. Okay, let's add in this bacon now that it's cooled off just a little bit. Quality control. I've got toast in the toaster that just popped up. Now let's add in our mayo dressing and toss that around. This looks, smells, and I'm sure tastes amazing. It's not a true BLT without the L, right? So there we go. Yeah, give me some of that. Now, unfortunately, Steven is not gonna be able to do an on-camera taste test because he is at work. He's in his office and he's on a phone call that's gonna last like 3 hours. So I'm just gonna take this in there to him. I'm gonna cut it in half. Doesn't that look good? So Steven is back there and he sounds like he is loving it. But I've got Cole over here.
I'm about to fall down.
He took one bite, he said, "Oh my goodness, what did you do?" I said, "I hope that's good." You love it? He's standing there like this.
I'm so happy right now.
I'm so glad you love
I
it.
don't know what I did to deserve this.
Yeah, I don't either, but
Alright. Oh,
hold up. He's got his mouth full.
this is the kind of food that I would want to have for the first time again.
That's a good
It's
description.
good.
It's kind of like when I read a really good book and I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back and read it for the first time. So you wish you could go back and eat this for the first time?
Eat that and you'll wish it too.
Hopefully it lives up to the hype for me. Let's see. Oh, I just dropped a mater outside of it. All right, tink. Best chicken salad ever. I made one on Tuesday that I really loved. It's really good. It's a much different version than this. If you missed that, make sure you go back and watch Tuesday's video. And I did it with canned chicken. You can always do it with rotisserie, but it was a lemon basil. And it was really good. It's a much lighter version of this. But this is my favorite chicken salad I've ever had. Gracie is jealous. She's been outside on the porch. So I'm gonna give her a little bit of chicken and a little piece of bacon, because I know she has a huge fan club and y'all need to see that. Bacon first, and chicken. We are making pesto turkey meatballs. I'm also gonna serve it with, I mean, you could serve it, you know, just over any pasta that you wanted to. But if you go back in time, several years ago, I made a creamy garlic Parmesan orzo. That is still one of my favorite things. So I'm gonna make that tonight. I'm not gonna show you all the steps of making that. I'll link that video below so you can go check it out. But that stuff is so good, and it's gonna be really good paired with this pesto turkey meatballs. First, we're gonna come over here and preheat the oven to 400. You could probably do these in the air fryer as well. I've got 1 pound of ground turkey. The recipe calls for 1.5 pounds. I didn't want to thaw out 2 pounds because that's the measurements that I had, so we're just going with 1 pound. I need 1 egg. I need about a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna add, that's gonna help. First of all, it's got the lid on. Second of all, this is a grinder, not a shaker. Wow. We're gonna add about a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, about a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of dried basil. We're gonna use our hands. I took off my rings to, I really hate this, but we're gonna do it. It's gonna be okay. Blech. Oh God, no, it's the egg though. The egg is what got me, but now we're good. Oh my gosh, this is so cold. I mean, obviously if I needed another 1/2 pound, they would be a little bit drier. So they're a little wet. I'm a little worried about that, but ooh, let's add a little bit of breadcrumbs in to help that. Hang on, I'll be right back. You gotta do what you gotta do. I've got some Italian style breadcrumbs. I'm just gonna add a little bit in, not a lot. I'm not gonna measure it. I'm just gonna eyeball it. But I think that'll help some. I need to do some more with my clean hand. Oh, not the frozen turkey hand. Oh my goodness. Okay, I feel like that's a little better. We've got this dish here. We're gonna add our pesto to it. We're gonna add 1/4 cup to the bottom. Shake it up a little bit. The lid was not on all the way, so that was great. And let's just spread that around. We're gonna form as many meatballs as we can. The recipe originally says 16 meatballs, but that's with 1.5 pounds. So now we're gonna take the remaining pesto here and pour it all over. We're gonna make sure each meatball gets covered. I ended up getting 9. My last one was very large. Gotta wash my hands again. I got pesto all over it. Okay, this is going in the oven at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. Then we will take it out and put some mozzarella cheese over top. Now it's time for me to get started on the orzo. This is all the ingredients that I need here, or most of the ingredients. I'll link the video below. These just came out of the oven. We're gonna top them with some mozzarella cheese. I think the recipe says like 2/3 a cup of mozzarella cheese. I'm just gonna use the rest of this bag. This is going back in the oven for another 5 minutes or so just to melt the cheese. I did check the temperature of these. You wanna make sure it's cooked to 165 degrees. These are good. We're gonna let them cool for just a couple of minutes before we dig in. Y'all hear that beeping? That's probably the Amazon truck leaving our house.
It's the box truck. Bring us another box.
We're box collectors around here, aren't we?
That's right.
What
Well,
you think?
this looks delicious.
I'm telling you what.
It
some of that orzo.
Yes, I love it.
Did you have your doubts when I said turkey meatballs?
I was like, turkey's a little sus.
He's not the biggest fan of turkey.
I mean, you got to get on the ingredients.
You have to get on it, and then you really have to be careful about the temperature it cooks to. We've had salmonella from undercooked turkey before.
Wow. But the creaminess of the orzo.
Yeah.
All the flavors in the orzo. And then the meatball.
With the pesto.
Wow,
yeah.
pesto. Man.
I'm so glad you like
Love the texture. It's good. Juicy.
Juicy. Yep. Not dry. Excellent. Y'all should have seen his face earlier when I told him what we were having. It was like the look of just not disappointment, but kind of skepticism. Like, what do you say now?
Great job.
The texture of the meatball, number one, I'm very impressed. And then the pesto just makes it pop. And then that garlic Parmesan orzo. I mean, this is perfection. You could serve this with any pasta, but I highly recommend making this orzo.
It's flexible.
It is flexible.
You're flexible pasta.
All right, guys. This will probably be in an upcoming favorites. I need a quick meal, and this one is going to take right at 30 minutes, and it's going to be so good. You've heard of the dish, beef and broccoli. Well, we're going to do ground beef and broccoli, and we're going to serve that over rice. First things first, I have a cup of rice in 2 cups of water on the stove. So we're going to let that cook. The recipe doesn't call for it, but I had just a few of these shoestring carrots left, so I'm going to throw that into it because why not? But I've got this broccoli, I guess floret, this broccoli head. So I'm going to cut this up into bite-sized pieces. I've already washed it and kind of patted it dry. This is going to be the first thing that we cook. So we're going to soften up our broccoli. It says you need about 3 cups. We're just going with what I have. Next, I need to slice up this red pepper. Oh, it had babies. That always tickles me. I don't know why. I'm amused easily. And we need a yellow onion diced. Okay, that's all our chopping and dicing. We are gonna take a couple of tablespoons of cornstarch and mix it with a couple of tablespoons of cold water. We're just gonna set this to the side. We'll use this a little bit later. And I'm gonna do a little more than what the recipe calls for the sauce. I'm not gonna quite double it, but I'm gonna do a little more just because we like extra sauce. So we're gonna make our sauce. It calls for 1 cup of beef broth, so I'm gonna do about 1.5 cups. It calls for 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I am using low sodium soy sauce. So I'm doing 1/4 cup plus another half of that. We need about 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. We need a tablespoon or a little bit more of honey. That's appropriate. Thank you very much for that. I need some minced garlic. I'm just gonna use the rest of this. I have another one of these in the pantry I can open. It calls for 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger. So I'm gonna add in a little more than that. And then we need a teaspoon, or a little more than that, of toasted sesame oil. Let's whisk that together. And we're just gonna set it to the side. Let's go over to our stovetop. Okay, I've added about 1 tablespoon of olive oil to this hot skillet. It's at about medium. I put olive oil in. It calls for peanut oil. If you have that, use that. Gracie, ma'am. She's very vocal today. We just got to deal with it. Now we're going to toss in our broccoli. We're going to let it sit here on medium for about 4 to 5 minutes to kind of soften it up a bit. See how pretty bright green that is? I always love to see veggies turn that bright green. Okay, these have been going for about 4 minutes. We're gonna remove this. I just put it back in the bowl that it started in. Now we are going to cook our ground beef. Just got 1 pound. Every time. Let go. There we go. I also added in our diced onion. And I'm gonna season the ground beef as well with a little salt and pepper. I'm gonna throw in some crushed red pepper flakes because we like spicy. But you could definitely leave that out and throw in some salt. Not a lot because you've got some soy sauce going in, so you don't need a lot. You can use white pepper, and I have that, but I'm just using just regular black pepper and just a little bit of crushed red pepper. Now we're gonna add in our red pepper that we sliced. I'm also gonna throw in my carrots And we're gonna let this cook for another minute or so. Okay, it's been another minute. We're gonna add in our sauce mixture and we're gonna let this come up to a boil. Now that it's starting to simmer, we're gonna let it simmer for a good 2 to 3 minutes to kind of reduce. It's been simmering for a couple of minutes, so now I'm gonna add in our cornstarch. You wanna make sure that you stir it again. Okay, I'm gonna add 1 more tablespoon of cornstarch with another tablespoon of water, just because I did increase the liquid and it's not quite thick enough for me. So that should do it. Oh yeah, it's already doing its thing. Okay, so let's add our broccoli back in. I'm gonna turn the stove off. I'm gonna toss this around and we're gonna eat. It's time to eat.
It's time.
He is so excited.
Yes, I am. That is delicious.
Yeah?
Yes. That sauce, sweet.
Yes.
It's got this sweet flavor. Mm-hmm. It's got maybe some soy or some kind of.
And ginger. Mm-hmm.
Very delicious.
Good. Does it have any spice to it at all? Mm-mm. Oh, okay. Well, I added some red pepper to it, but I didn't add a whole lot, so maybe I didn't add quite enough.
Maybe just a tad, but you know me,
Right. Like you could pour Sriracha all over the top of that.
my spice level is like, give me nuclear. Okay?
Oh.
Maybe just a hint of spice there, but
Okay.
really good flavors.
We have not been using as much cheese in our meals lately. She's like, you ain't got to tell me. Poor thing. Oh, it's your poor pitiful girl. Is it or is it not?
A go-backer?
Uh-huh.
Yes, it is. Most certainly a go-backer.
It is so good, y'all. So I can definitely taste the crushed red pepper in here. When he says he likes his stuff nuclear, he's not joking. When we go to the Thai restaurant and they say we have a level of 1 to 5, what do you say?
10.
Poor baby.
Gracie, Lou hasn't ever had nothing to eat in her entire life. Bless her heart.
How have you made it 20 years, girlfriend? How? We don't feed you. Has Mediterranean inspiration to it. It is a Mediterranean pasta salad. It is delicious, but let me tell you, I just about ruined the whole thing. It was about to be a disaster. You'll see. Let's make it. Okay, to get started, I've got a large pot of water coming up to a boil on the stove. You can use whatever pasta you want. I can't remember what the recipe calls for. I'm gonna be using bow tie pasta, only about half of this bag. You need about 8 ounces. So I'm gonna take this over there. Let's go check on the water. So the water is not quite ready yet. So let's start chopping up all of our veggies. I've got an English cucumber here. Next, I'm gonna half these cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes. You need about a pint of those. So that's what I'm gonna do. I know there's a trick that you can put these in between 2 paper plates and half them that way. Just run your knife through the 2, but I've just never tried it. You have to let me know. Have you tried that method? Does it work? That is a lot of maters, but you know what? As in the words of Cole when he was little, it's going to taste good. So now that our water has finally come up to temperature, I'm gonna add some salt. It does say to heavily salt your water, so I'm gonna do a little more than I normally would. And like I mentioned, I'm only gonna use half this bag. You need 8 ounces of pasta. I feel like that's about right. Okay, so let's let that do its thing, and we'll continue to chop some stuff up. Now the recipe calls for half of a red onion, but I don't think they anticipated the red onion to be as large as my head. So we're gonna do maybe 1/4 of this red onion. Look how big that thing is. That's ridiculous. So it says to slice it. So I sliced it, but I'm also cutting these slices in half just so it's not such large pieces. It's a little bit easier to get on your fork. All right, so that's done. So we've got some baby spinach here, and it's very stemmy. Look how stemmy it is. We don't do that in this house. So, look, who wants to eat that? Do you eat that? Let me know. Do you just leave the stems on? And it's totally fine if you do, you can eat them. But I just can't. I can't do it. It's a texture thing. I just can't do it. So, I am de-stemming my baby spinach, and I will be back shortly. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna roughly chop this, even though it's pretty small already. I would just prefer to have it a little bit smaller. So that's what we're gonna do. Now let's go ahead and start on our dressing. We are making our own dressing while that finishes up. This has 6 minutes left over on the stove. So let's make the dressing. As soon as the camera starts, he's quiet. As soon as he pauses it, that mouth runs constantly.
They don't want to hear me talking.
Me talking?
They don't.
All right, let's make our dressing for our pasta salad. We need about 1/4 cup of olive oil. We need 3 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Y'all, as I'm putting that Dijon mustard in there, I'm like, that don't seem right. That seems like a lot of Dijon mustard. Yeah, it was, y'all. It was. It was only supposed to be a teaspoon of that. I was supposed to put in 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. So if you were like following along, please pay attention like I didn't. And don't put 3 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. The whole time I'm doing it, I'm like, this is weird.
That's a lot of mustard.
Okay. Well,
Look, we can salvage this.
we can. We're going to. We're going to. So I took out a lot of it. And now we're going to do things the right way.
I like a little bit of oily mustard.
Shut up.
How much you gonna put of that in there? Like 6 cups?
Okay, let me make sure. Hold on. 3 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, y'all. Good gracious. That just did not feel right. You know how like my Nana would say, you do it till it feels right? That whole Dijon mess, it did not feel right. I was like, something's wrong here. Yeah, I was wrong. Massively. Okay, there we go. I'm going to add in about a teaspoon of dried basil. You could do dried mint, but I don't have that, so we're going with basil. Also a teaspoon of dried oregano, about a half a teaspoon of salt, and a little bit of black pepper. Let's whisk that together. It's gonna be a little extra mustardy, but I think we shall survive. Let me taste that and see what I think.
Looks good.
It does look good. It smells good. Oh my. You know how something's kind of tart and it locks your jaw up?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't eaten anything today. It's almost lunchtime. I haven't eaten. So that's probably part of the issue. I just shocked my mouth with that, but that is good. So this is pretty much done. We're gonna drain this. I love this little snap-on colander. It's so nice. So now what I'm doing is shocking my pasta and stopping it from cooking and cooling it down. So I'm just gonna rinse it several times with cold water. I'm hitting on all cylinders today, y'all. I'm just firing it off. Totally forgot we need garlic. The garlic was hiding over here in the corner. And I just saw it and I was like, oh, wait a minute. So we need 1 clove of minced garlic added to our dressing. There we go. Now, let's continue on. Hot Mess Express over here today, y'all. We're gonna add this dressing into the bottom of this large bowl. Then we're gonna add our pasta directly on top of that and toss it really well. Then let's just add in all of our chopped ingredients, our spinach, onion, cucumber, and tomatoes. This is a pretty pasta salad. We also need to add in some sliced Kalamata olives. And then lastly, you can't have a Mediterranean salad without feta cheese. All right, some feta. Mo feta makes it mo better. That is gorgeous and is gonna be delicious. So let's eat. You ready?
Yeah.
I mean, now that the clown show has stopped,
Oh, look, this is gonna be delicious.
all this
I don't care
wasted
what
Dijon over here.
I'm on a mission here to get all of it on the fork here. I mean, tomatoes, cucumbers, olives, pasta. Can I do it? Can I get all these layers on there? That's what I want to know.
I think I got all of it. Oh yeah, feta. I got everything.
Man, you wanted to hold on.
Oh, wait.
Struggling.
I don't think I got spinach.
I think that's all of it right there.
Okay, let me add the spinach on. There we go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Think.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man. The dressing. Absolutely. That'll make or break any pasta salad right there.
About broke it. About broke it with all that Dijon.
Crunchy, fresh. I love the olive oil. I'm getting that in there. That is delicious. Yeah, it's got a little bit of the tart pop there from the vinegars that are sort of blended in there. You know what's interesting though? I get the mustard just a little bit. Not much. It's not overwhelming at all.
Well, you
even
shouldn't.
Even when you
Yeah.
so
Even when you put the whole
just
thing
a
of
little
mustard
bit
in there. Oh, well, thank
I
you.
love pasta salads. Pasta salads for lunch, or they can be a side.
There's something about spring and summer in a pasta salad.
Yes, absolutely. Very springy.
Those Mediterranean flavors are really coming out. This is a good one, y'all. Ground beef, sweet potato, cottage cheese bowl with hot honey. It's got all kinds of interesting ingredients. It's healthy and it has ingredients that you normally have on hand, so I thought that would be great. I love cottage cheese. Stephen is not the biggest fan of cottage cheese, so I thought this one might be interesting. So you have to see how this one turns out. But the TikTok looked great and it had a lot of views, so let's test it. So I'm gonna peel this sweet potato It's a rather large sweet potato, and it's just me and Steven eating this lunch, so this should be more than enough. I'm gonna chop this up into little chunks. We're gonna air fry our sweet potatoes while we do the rest of this recipe. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and get this started now. I should have cut these with the veggie chopper because it would have made them all really uniform, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got these. Let's season these. So I've got my air fryer preheating to 400. I'm gonna throw these in this bowl, throw a little bit of olive oil on there and some seasonings. Okay, a little bit of salt. And I say a little bit because I'm gonna be adding adobo seasoning, which also has salt. Throw some pepper in here. Here's my adobo. And just for a little added smokiness, we're gonna add some smoked paprika. So that is ready to go. I'm gonna go set it by the air fryer, and once the air fryer is done, these will go in at 400 for about 12 minutes or so, 12 to 14 minutes. Now, this part was not in the original recipe, but anytime I brown ground beef, I add onion. I just love the flavor it gives it, so we're gonna do about a half an onion diced, and if I would have had my veggie chopper out already, I would just use it, but I'm not gonna get it out just to dice this little bit of onion, so I'm gonna do this by hand. Okay, our air fryer is done, so let's go put those in. So let's brown 1 pound of ground beef, and I'm gonna add that diced onion to it as well. Let's drain the grease out using some balled up paper towels. Now that it's all browned and we have removed most of the grease, you can add whatever taco seasonings you want. I've just got this taco seasoning already prepared and ready, so you add in as much as you want. I'm just adding in a couple of tablespoons maybe, and I am gonna add just a tad bit of water, not a lot, because we're not making tacos. Make sure it all gets coated in that taco seasoning. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna turn this off and let it just sit here for a couple of minutes while our sweet potatoes are finishing, and we just need to go chop up some avocado. I say chop, we're just gonna slice this avocado. Now, to be included in these bowls is hot honey. She drizzled all over the top, and I can't open mine because it is sealed shut with the honey. It's all sticky. There we go, got it. Let's drizzle the hot honey all over the top. Viral TikTok recipe #1.
We're gonna put it to the test.
We are. You're not the biggest cottage cheese fan.
That'd be correct.
I love cottage cheese. I eat it all the time as a snack, all kinds.
We getting involved anyway.
That's right.
All right, first things first. We're gonna try to get a little bit of everything on here.
Oh, you're going in all together?
You got to do it.
All right.
Okay.
Do it.
Yes. That's really good. Tasty. I mean, you can't go wrong with taco meat.
Right.
I mean, that's just
That's a
too
given.
good.
Yeah.
But mixing this together like this, I never would have thought of doing that.
Okay. Yeah, me neither.
So, really nice touch. Let's
It's
get
a
some of this
really great
avocado.
way to get your protein and good fats.
Yeah,
and
it's
fiber.
really delicious. And you can pick out all the ingredients. They all just go well together.
Okay.
And the cottage cheese is actually a nice touch.
Look at you. I'm proud of you.
Man, it's very light,
Okay.
you know. You can tell it's not like really heavy ingredients.
Right.
That is really good.
Well, I'm so glad.
It's almost kind of like a taco bowl type of
Yeah,
thing, or a burrito
yeah.
bowl type of thing, you know.
But with healthier,
But
lighter
with
ingredients.
Healthier, lighter ingredients.
Yeah.
This is a superb lunch.
Okay.
But yeah, you could do this for dinner time.
Can you taste that hot,
A little bit.
honey?
The hot honey is
Yeah.
in there just a little bit, just
Okay.
a nice little sweet touch.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to dig in. I'm starving. I'm so hungry. So I will let you know what I think.
The cottage cheese, mixing it with this taco meat, that's amazing.
It really is, y'all.
I never would have thought cottage cheese and taco meat would be so good. But
Yeah.
that is delicious.
I've already dug in. I got a little bit of everything all on my fork, and it is perfect blend.
Viral, viable. It checks both boxes.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's
Okay.
worth a shot for sure.
I'm going to be making a Big Mac salad. So we're going a little bit lighter and leaner tonight. So we're going to get that Big Mac flavor, but without all of the calories. We're going to get started by making the sauce first. So I've got some Duke's mayonnaise here. We need about a half a cup. We need some grated onion. I've already grated mine. Let's add that in. I'm doing a little less grated onion than it calls for. That's just personal preference. We need a couple of tablespoons of ketchup, a tablespoon of sweet pickle relish, brand new jar, can't open it. Gonna use my handy dandy little, I'm telling you, this thing is the best. Okay, a tablespoon of that. A couple of teaspoons of yellow mustard. Did you see that? Yep. One, two. A teaspoon of white vinegar. And then we just need about a quarter teaspoon of paprika. I've noticed lately that some people say paprika. I always say paprika. How do you say it? I want to know. Tell me below in the comments. That is our sauce, our Big Mac sauce. And it's also going to be the dressing for our salad. I'm going to pop a lid on this, and it's going to go in the fridge while I prep everything for the salad. I'll taste it. Okay. I'm glad I tasted it. I'm going to add a tad more ketchup. This is not the same spoon I just took a taste test with. I wanted a little more of that ketchup flavor in there. Yep. Perfection. That's good. Pop the lid on. Okay, so we're just going to brown the ground beef, and then we will season it afterwards. This is a really lean ground beef. I won't have much fat to drain off of it, but you may want to cook yours, drain it, and then season it. I washed my romaine lettuce. You could use iceberg if you wanted to, but I'm going to tear it and put it in here and dry it. I left my mustard there. It's decoration. I got this salad spinner thingy at TJ Maxx years ago, and I love it. Okay, let me start adding this to my salad bowl. Okay, so this is finished cooking. I have turned off the heat. We're gonna add in some seasonings. You need about a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper, about a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a dash of the Dub sauce. I do a lot of dashes. Let's just mix that together, and then we're just gonna put it over here on a plate so it'll start cooling off. We don't want it to go onto our salad hot. Okay, it's time to serve our salads. I was just gonna do it all here, but it's gonna make it a little bit harder to get all of the parts of the salad in each bowl. So we are just going to do everything in our individual bowls. It's just me and Steven here tonight. Cole loves a Big Mac, and he loves salad, so he's missing out.
I like Big Macs too.
Well, I know you do, but I'm just saying Cole's missing out.
Yeah.
All right, Steven's gonna add in our ground beef on one side, or in the middle, it doesn't really matter. You do it how you want to. He started in the middle and I said side, so it is what it is.
Look, I'm just following directions. I just eat.
Okay. You're just the eater.
That's right, I'm eating.
Now I'm gonna add some cheddar cheese. We have a Zaxby's near us. They serve chicken. I don't know if you know. I don't think it's all over the US, but their salads, this is how they prepare their salads. Whenever you get it, they're all in different sections, and then you have to mix it all together. What else we got?
We got some onions.
Onion. Do it to it. Okay, we're gonna add some maters.
How about that?
That's good. Move it over. Add me some maters.
Got some pickles on there.
We got pickles.
Oh, mine on top.
Hey, go over there in the fridge, and we've got the Big Mac sauce.
Oh, we can't forget that.
I mean, that,
oh man, that smells good.
that's what makes the whole salad.
I'm gonna drizzle it with a spoon.
Well, that's just pretty.
Yeah.
She's so pretty.
Gonna be pretty good.
Here, you want some cheese?
Golly.
There you go. Y'all, I gave it to her, I promise, or else she would still be screaming. Okay?
We made a little mess right there.
That's all right. Let's eat.
These are mine. I don't know where yours is at.
What you think?
I think this is gonna be amazing.
I think it's gonna be really good.
But we gotta get all the pieces.
Right, you gotta get a little bit of each thing on your fork.
Gotta get a little bit of everything on here. Wow. That is a Big Mac in a bowl.
That is awesome.
You did good.
Thanks.
That's amazing.
I'm so excited.
Wow. Cheddar cheese. Presentation wise, I love it. But however, I think mixing it all in there together
Yeah.
would be more functional.
Well, of course, yeah. For the picture,
I mean, I
and
guess
just to
you
make
can-
it look pretty, you want to do it that way. But
Yeah.
then kind of mixing it all together once it's on
Right.
the plate.
If you're trying to impress, you know,
Sure,
maybe
sure.
do it that way, but functionally, you
You want to toss it.
just put it in there.
All right, I'm gonna take a bite. I'll be back. McDonald's is missing out. They need to put this on the menu. Tell me if you remember, it was back in the, was it back in the 90s and maybe early 2000s was when that was? The McSalad shakers. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? You used to get it and it would come in a cup basically, and you would shake it with the dressing and coat everything in the dressing. They need to make a Big Mac salad. McDonald's, if you're watching, because I know McDonald's is watching, you know. You need to make a Big Mac salad. This is delicious. That's gonna do it for today. I hope I gave you lots of inspiration for lighter, fresher foods as we move into spring. I will see y'all next time. Bye y'all.